Dolphins fans, welcome to another episode of the Fins Bandwagon. And boy, do we need it. The last 24 hours have been crazy. So you get a special hour of me, yours truly, Fins Paws, with Fish Tank Hank. And Mr. Producer, can you remove the breaking news Tua and concussion protocol? I don't know how to remove that. I'm going to wait for the producer to remove that. We're still talking about Tua and concussion protocol. He has to fix that up for us. How you doing, Hank?
I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
I'm so happy to be with you. You want to know what? Just listening to the people talk over the last couple of days, the last 24 hours has been really, really hard. I couldn't wait for this show.
Don't worry. I got lots of positives for you tonight.
We're gonna have some fun. Okay, Chris, thank you for joining.
Bro,
Henry Carpenter, thank you for watching the show. I know who Henry Carpenter is. Anyways, guys, I don't know. Breaking news. We apologize for the breaking news banner. That will somehow get fixed in the next few minutes, hopefully. We'll ask Mr. Producer to join us in a little bit. So, Hank, just take a few minutes. I like how you do. Just overall, how are you doing? Not to go do. I want to have very specific questions for you tonight because I want to keep it very simple, and then we'll have some fun because we're gonna have to talk about this team. But give me how you're doing. How you doing 48 hours later in general? How's the wife? How's the family? How's everyone?
Well, let's just say it's been tough after a 4-game skid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's been pretty tough. And the wife and I, we've been sick for about 2 weeks now. I don't know what we got. I went and got some shot. It was a pneumonia shot. And since then, I've been sick. So
I hope you feel
I don't know what the story is with that, but
yeah, no, my whole family
darn good.
And my whole family wasn't feeling great for a few weeks. I think it's after you get the flu shots and all the different stuff, I think it can have an effect on you. So let's talk about it, Fish Tank, my dad over here. We're going to talk about it. I know you don't like to go on the past, but I think the past is really important. I want you to tell me from what your experience, because you were there live, and we're going to talk about everything that's been in the news and what's happening, what's going on right now. What was it like to be at that football game? If there was a tale of two halves, what was it like?
It was a disaster. The second half of the game was just a complete disaster, really. I mean, you saw what happened. Tua was off. That's all.
What was the first half like? But what were your feelings heading into the first half? Were you still upset? Because I didn't end.
No, I wasn't upset. I don't necessarily get upset. I might get disappointed and a little frustrated with things that could be or should have been or might have been. But you know what? That fades real quick because I have to jump back into reality after the game's over and go, okay, where do we actually sit? What's going on? And I start asking myself all these questions.
Yeah.
And half the time I post them on Twitter. I go to Twitter and post them on up there. So we can't give up now. No. We're not going to give up now.
We're not giving up.
But
what was your feeling?
Be very specific and only talk about specific things tonight. So
we are.
I got to watch myself.
You can go off tangent, but my question to you was, heading into that first half, I'm sure you were watching the game. It should have been 27-10, not 20-13. So what was it like for you? Was that your most frustrating part of the first part of the game, that we kept them in it?
No, I didn't feel like things were going downhill until, the second half started coming around and you get to that third quarter and it was just looking like, what are we doing? We're shooting ourselves in the foot every time we turn around between penalties, bad throws, referees were, if Tua has a concussion, where the hell was the flag? Lots of things like that, all that until it kind of sucked. Yeah. But you know what? I'm a Dolphins fan, and you expect a little adversity along the way, and we got a little bit. Yeah. But that's all right.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're in a good position.
Yeah. For me right now, to get the whole game for me, I said this on the post-game show, and the people were surprised. I was actually smiling because I go, like you just said, we're used to this as Miami Dolphin fans. We're used to the fact that this team has moments of struggle, has moments of frustration. So to beat your head against the wall, yes, do we have higher expectations? But then we have to come back to reality and realize first-year head coach, first-year offense, new players in the offense, new players on the O-line, banged up defense, a mess on special teams. The fact that we're able to do what we need to do, like for me, with the definition of our season or the definition of the last 4 weeks, Hank, and I'm sure you were there, and I'm sure you were like, "Oh my God."
I can't believe it.
Was the squib kick. The squib kick was a definition of a head coach saying, I'm afraid of the other team's special teams, and I don't trust them to do anything.
I had literally turned my head when that play happened.
Yeah.
I had turned my head. Something was going on, and I turned my head, and I didn't see the squib kick. Yeah. I turned back. I look up, and the ball's on the ground, so I missed the whole thing.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, well, what the hell happened? We were just kicking off. And I was like, what happened? Yeah. Why are they on the 45? What's going So
guys,
that's when I started. That's when I started to question a few things. And then, Coach needs to do things different. And we also need a defensive coach also.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but we need a defensive coach.
Yeah. Overall, I'm on a very positive note for me, and we're going to talk about that throughout the game. We're still talking about the Packer game. Is the fact that overall this team failed on every aspect of the game. It was a complete and utter failure on every aspect, from offense to defense to special teams. Everyone played a role. Everyone had good moments. Everyone had awful moments. And that's a microcosm of this team. That this coach basically said at the beginning of the year, measure me when adversity hits. Well, adversity is hit. You're now on a 4-game losing streak. And it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, who the D-line is. You don't have Byron Jones. You don't have Tua. You don't have Armstead. You don't have this. It doesn't matter. In the end, the team has to get it together if they want to get to the playoffs. And for me,
if they want to get to the playoffs, Evan, and control somewhat of the fact that we can get into the playoffs by winning these next 2 games.
We honestly, and we're going to talk about this, we just need to win this game because the Jets are not going to win in Seattle. I'll keep on repeating this. Seattle isn't looking to make the playoffs also. They're playing at home against Zach Wilson. All we have to do is squeak out a win, and we're in the playoffs. For me, though, the thing about the playoffs, though, for me, is the fact that this team is not yet built for the playoffs. We're still playing, and that's what I'm trying to figure out is that, and let's get to Tua right now. The reason why for me, and I want to get your opinion on this because I said it last night during our breaking news show.
Okay.
I made the comment that my number one issue, and you've heard me for weeks talk about this, in the end, it's the same way if you were in the military, you're in the Coast Guard. In the end, if you were not the head of your unit, if you screw up, that falls on the head of your unit, not just you. So no matter how much Tua screws up, no matter how much Xavier Howard drops an interception, no matter how many field goals Jason Sanders misses, no matter how many times Bradley Chubb can't get to the quarterback, in the end, the head coach is supposed to be running everything. And right now, the defense is failing, special teams is failing, and the offensive scheme is not working to win football games because it's too plain vanilla predictable. That's what's been seen over the last 4 games. So for me, having Tua there, and we're going to talk about what your thoughts were on that, it's actually I think McDaniel wouldn't have gotten out of his own way, and he would have kept on banging his head against the wall and wouldn't have adjusted. Now that he has Bridgewater playing in an important game that can lead them to the playoffs,
yes,
he's going to have to modify and pound the rock and play a pure game manager game. So give me your thoughts on what was your reaction when you heard about the Tua concussion, what your thoughts are of the Tua concussion, and what you think should be happening this Sunday. Because let's say he clears protocol.
Okay.
Let's say he clears protocol tomorrow. Would you play him? Give me your overall microcosm of what the whole Tua situation is.
It's pretty clear with Tua. The kid got another concussion protocol. This is supposedly his 3rd concussion protocol, not necessarily 3rd concussion. So that's the first part of it. He's in the protocol though. And you got to sometimes protect people from themselves, they say. And a lot of people have said this to me, and that's true. But at the same time, if the doctors have to evaluate and say to what degree of injury he has done or hasn't done. And that's something that I believe Tua and his wife are going to sit down and talk about. If it happened to me a third time, I would be sitting down with my wife and we would be discussing my future. That's just me, though. And people could say, oh, it's because of somebody that's competitive. I'm competitive if I need to be. Trust me. It's not about that. It's about getting down to the brass tacks with your family when you have millions of dollars in the bank, which he does, and he's invested. So he's got plenty of money. He has no problems. Be careful and don't risk your health. So at minimum, if I was in Tua's shoes, what I would do is wait at least till the playoffs start. That's what I would do if I was in his shoes, regardless of what anybody tells me. If they tell me I'm perfect as a pencil, hey, that's great. That sounds good, but I'm going to wait till the playoffs. Yeah. And that's what I do.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. Thank you, John. If Mike White's playing, they're still going to lose. It's the Geno Smith revenge game. I'm telling you right now, Geno Smith wanted to get back on them. Evan's jinxing us. Oh, Bobby, your negativity. Oh, yeah, I can't get over this realist talk. Guys, I appreciate it. Thirsty guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Before I make my comments, we're 3 subscribers away. Go ask your uncle, your cousins, your boss, your neighbor, your dog. Have your dog open up a YouTube account and hit subscribe. Do whatever you need to do. Honestly, because what's going to happen when we hit 500? We're going to have a jersey giveaway of Jalen Waddle. Look at this beautiful jersey, guys. I'm wearing it. Look at this beautiful jersey. Okay? You can get this jersey, or you can get a Javon Holland jersey. So Mr. Snowman, a great Canadian guy. Guys, remember, he's a great Canadian from BC, from British Columbia, Great Old British Columbia. I'm going to give a point. Everyone's saying, "What's up, Steve?" I'm going to make a point about Tua.
What's up, Steve?
I'm going to be the naysayer here, and I might get not disliked to this. Tua is a proud Samoan. He's a proud guy. He's the one who said he wasn't feeling right, and he's the one who went to tell them that he wasn't feeling right.
That's right.
He did it on his own mind. He's a fighter. If you're going to tell him, if a doctor tells him you're 1 concussion away from ending your career, but if he gets cleared, he is going to fight tooth and nail because he's an athlete and he's programmed to be a competitor and to play football. So for me, I personally would sit him this week. And if we make the playoffs, hold him for the playoffs. I made that prediction at the beginning of the year that I want to have a playoff spot. So I don't care who we play. I want to have a playoff game firm by week 17. So in week 18, Tua doesn't have to play, and our team can rest. That's what I said, and that's what I'm committed to that anyways. Maybe that will happen for very different reasons. I want to get points. A previous show was very, very hard on Tua, and how he's a one-read quarterback and how he's not talented. For me, I don't care. Every team is an NFL team. And yes, he struggled the last couple of games. But no one will convince me otherwise. Is he an elite quarterback yet? No. But at the same time, I don't care what anybody says. The throws that he was throwing in that second half were uncharacteristic of a guy who still has, for some crazy reason, the highest passer rating in the league. And it's not and I disagree that it's a vanilla offense. Do you understand the number of the number of pre-snap motions he makes in the 25 seconds he has? He's moving, he's shaking, McDaniel, the number one thing I was going to say that is I give him credit. You know how complicated his offense? He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady who can audible on a whim. They're expecting him to gather all this information, tell Ingle where to go, tell Hill where to go, tell Waddle where to go, tell Osweiler where to go, tell Gesicki where to go, tell Smythe where to go, tell them all where to go, and then he has to hike the ball and remember what the throw was. It's at 1 second. Do you ever notice that? Think about this. You were at the game. You know how bad our timeout calls were? And every time they call a timeout, it's because McDaniel is blurting in your ear like a 5-year-old child until the last second. Give him a play call. Let him run it. Let him use his thing. It's too complicated. It's too over the top, and defenses are reading it. And then
wait a minute, you're saying it's vanilla, and then you're saying it's too complicated.
No. Steve said it was vanilla. No, Steve said it was vanilla. I didn't say it was vanilla. I think it's an overcomplicated offense with pre-snap motions. For me, you should be pounding the rock. You should have a balanced attack for Tua. And what I'm also saying is that Tua right now, because of the fact that he's like an abused child for the previous 2 seasons, and basically what he's doing, you'll disagree with me, but I want, if you look at the throws, you were there on 3rd and 14 on the Saturday game.
Let me help you out here, Evan.
Yeah, go.
Tua completely blew it. He blew it. He pooped out the shooter. He had wide open receivers when he threw interceptions. You can't throw 3 interceptions when you got
he's concussed
open.
But he was concussed.
Possibly.
It doesn't matter. But wait. But tell me this, Steve. Look at the throws. The Buffalo game, where he's throwing the ball, and then in this game, 3rd and 14, slants to Tyreek Hill, to Alec Ingold, down the sidelines. He doesn't even look who's there. He throws it because McDaniel says to throw it there. When he's throwing these balls, the Mike Gesicki throw, all these throws are he's basically addicted to McDaniel's offense. He's afraid to piss off his coach, and he's doing exactly what he says. He's telling him to take his first read and go with it. Exactly. He's doing exactly what McDaniel says, and for me, that's a problem. For me, be your own man. The problem is that that was something I made a comment last night, and I just want everyone to say, wide open receivers, give me a break. Guys, I'm not moving the goalpost. I've been very consistent on McDaniel. I've said since week 4, he is the guy whose inability to adjust. No, tell me the last coach that you guys remember. Name me a coach who's won as many games in a row and lost as many games in a row as this coach in a first year. It's unbelievable.
Flores?
Flores never lost and won like this.
He did. He lost all.
No, he lost 7 and won 8. He lost 7 and won 8. He lost 7 and won 8. He didn't go lose 3, win 4, lose 5, 2, lose 4. Not a chance. Not even Gase did it. Not even Gase. The reason why Tua is struggling is because right now the offense is not balanced. Is he a phenomenal quarterback right now? No. He's still a development quarterback who's developing in this league, who's been able to put up good stats. What happened to guys? We were all bragging about him 5 weeks ago, how he's an MVP candidate. He doesn't just fall off a cliff. Give me a break. People are saying that about Geno Smith. Give me a break. The quarterbacks are players who need to rely on their coaching staff to help them grow.
But you know what, Evan? Tua ain't going to be playing. So what's
he'll be back there? No, but if they make here's my prediction. I'm telling you if you disagree. If they make the playoffs, Tua's back. Everyone's back. If they lose and they don't make the playoffs, everyone's gone. All 3 are gone. Everyone's gone. Greer, Boyer, McDaniel, everyone's gone. It's clear house. Stephen Ross is having a yard sale in front of Hard Rock Stadium.
You think so?
If they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be scorched earth. You don't think so? I do. I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm a Dolphins fan. And if they lose 6 in a row and they somehow get out of the playoffs when they were 8-3, with Tyreek Hill, Xavier Howard, Tyron Armstead, and all these veterans on the team, they're not going to last. Stephen Ross has a quick trigger. He is not going to allow them to continue like this. He's been there since they've had this winning streak. He's been visual in the fact that they've won 5 in a row and lost 4 in a row. He is not going to be quick. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he owes McDaniel tons of money. He doesn't care if he owes Tua. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He'll do whatever he needs to do what's best for the team. And for me, I've said this before. I am not out there for Tua. I am not out there for Greer. I'm not out there for McDaniel. I'm out there for us. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. And right now,
Ross doesn't typically fire somebody after 1 year.
Who? Ross? No, but he might fire. Yeah, but he might fire Greer, and this is going to be Greer's last coach. There's no chance. They can't because
he might fire Greer, but I don't know.
But whoever comes in is not going to keep. Whoever comes in is not going to keep McDaniel. Not going to.
I don't know that he's going to get rid of McDaniel. I don't know that.
He will. No, because the coach. He's not going to find a GM that wants to work with McDaniel and Tua. If they lose, who wants to come to a team that lost 6 in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row, and that is completely the whole idea of family? That's my frustration. My number one frustration as a bandwagoner fan, and I'm sick. By the way, I'm disappointed in our fan base because our fan base is so polarizing. I understand that. And tell me, our fan base. I loved you on Twitter last night. You were asking very unbiased, fair questions. And that's why I enjoy you on Twitter and I enjoy doing shows with you. You are realistic about everything and you're fair. I know sometimes you and I jump on the bandwagon because this is our team and this is our love.
Yeah.
But people now calling Tua an awful quarterback are the same people who 5 weeks ago he's an elite quarterback.
I don't think he's either. I think he's in between.
I think he can become one. I think he was playing like one.
This is his third year.
By the way, last night, I'm not going to say the guy's name because it's not about him tonight. The guy who won the football game last night, 20-3. The only time he has been successful this year is when he got his 2 tree trunks back. Right? And they're using Eckler. Eckler has 95 receptions. Williams and Allen are there. What are we doing? We're using Waddle. We're using Hill. And we're hardly using Mostert. And we're hardly using Wilson. That is the missing link. And I think you tell me, if we have if we go into the rest of this season with a balanced attack, our best game was a balanced attack of equal runs and equal passing, and even a little more running. If that happens and McDaniel does that, that is the key to success for this football team. This quick strike offense and having 2-minute drives and not being able to kill the clock is what's hurting our team the most. Do you not agree?
To some extent, yeah, absolutely. But play calling's a big part of it. Refs are a big part of it. There's been a lot of different things happening. And my view on it is the same as always. I'm moving forward. Yeah. And with that,
we always have to go back to look forward. I'm not going to let you do that because you have to look back in order to go
did
forward.
Look back. Now I'm going forward.
So go forward.
So now we're going to go forward and talk about
Can we block? I'm blocking this user. Who's this Bobby Finstock? Well, how do I block this guy?
Because we're going to talk about Teddy Bridgewater right now. That's why.
Go for it.
Because Teddy Bridgewater is going to be our starter. He didn't get an opportunity to prep before he started that last game. He was not expecting to start. This week, he'll be ready. He'll be prepped and ready to play. And I almost guarantee that Skyler will be getting ready with the second string folks too.
Who would you start, by the way? This is a tough question for you. I'll have a quick question for you because we had this disagreement on the breaking news show last night. Tomorrow, a Sunday game, you need to win it. Do you put in Bridgewater or Thompson? Who would you want to see? Because you were not a fan of Teddy. You're not a fan of Teddy.
Kid.
Huh?
I'd take the young kid.
To win a game going into the playoffs when he played a full. Yep. He hasn't thrown a touchdown yet. That's
all right. I'd still do it.
In the cold, in New England against Belichick.
Absolutely.
Belichick crushes. He squeezes the nut sacks of first-time QBs. Do you know that? Go look at his record.
Not the QBs. Dolphins, though. It's an amazing thing. He does it to everybody except the Dolphins.
Tua. The last 4 times he played, who's been the starting quarterback? You don't give me.
I'm not big on Teddy. See, even Thursday says it. I'm not big on Teddy. But it's going to be Teddy. Yeah. I don't get to say it's Teddy. It's going to be Teddy. But the nice part is, and here's the Fins Bandwagon part of it, he's going to be ready for this task. No. And that's all that really matters.
Yeah, He'll be
ready for the task. He'll be ready whether he's using wide receivers, running backs, backs out of the backfield, swing pass. Who cares? Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the quarterback, not Tua. So Tua doesn't matter right now, other than the fact that we all hope he gets better. We all hope that it's not career-ending. And in addition to that, we also hope that Teddy Bridgewater could carry us through this next game. And I think he can with the talent around him.
Guys, best comment of the show. I have to go back up to it. I get to post it. You want to know what? That's the best comment so far. You're going to see Fins Evans, the new GM. Listen to me. Okay, guys. Teddy Bridgewater, I wasn't a fan at the beginning of the year, but I did agree with El Jefe, our wonderful founder. This is why you signed Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater has been in the playoffs. Teddy Bridgewater has played in cold weather. Today, on the Pat McAfee show, even Aaron Rodgers said the Miami Dolphins couldn't ask for a better guy, because he used to play him a lot against Minnesota, a better competitor to go into. If you can't have Tua ready to go as your starter, Teddy Bridgewater is the best thing you could possibly have.
Fins up. Fins Nation TV.
Yeah. Dolphin Thursday. You can't blame me for that one, because it was I'm still on the Jason Sanders train. He's going to kick some nice field goals. He's allowed to miss one. Everyone was faltering, but you can blame me if you want. For me, this game is the definite. This is the future of our football team next season. The Jets game to me is whatever. Win this football game, because even if you somehow back into the Miami Dolphins are not going to use the last game at home as their reason to make the playoffs. The playoffs have to be decided this Sunday. They're going to go in.
I don't know that Tua's our answer either, like John's saying. He might not be the answer, and we're not going to know yet. That's why I hope that he's okay and that he's able to play in the playoffs, because that'll tell us, and that'll be the end of the story one way or the other. They'll either keep him or ditch him.
Yeah, but guys,
because you can't have somebody that's getting hurt all the time either.
Okay, guys, I want to be
availability is number one
right now in the league. Let's all be fair here. In the league right now, I don't care. Even Tua, what's been going on this year. I did it last night with Bobby after the show. There's Mahomes, there's Allen, there's Herbert. Hurts is having a good year, and Lawrence. But outside of the top three echelon, even Jackson struggled this year and he's injured. There's three true franchise quarterbacks that have been leading their teams the last couple of weeks. Everyone else is a quarterback in a system that works for them and developing. The Kirk Cousins of the world, the Dak Prescott of the world, the Derek Carrs of the world. No one's playing. Even Dak Prescott on a superstar team is not playing well. Brock Purdy, look at San Francisco. They're able to do it with Brock Purdy. Every quarterback is a mechanism of their system, except for Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert. But even Herbert needed his two wide receivers to get back. Let's go watch Josh Allen without Stephon Diggs. Let's go watch. He hasn't done it. Go watch Patrick Mahomes without Travis Kelce. You want to know what? It's going to be a very different thing, guys. Let's just be realistic of the fact that a football team has a 52-man roster and every player has to do their job. Jason Sanders, Thomas Morstead, goddamn they can't get to the quarterback to save their lives. Let's get off the field on third down and not leave it to a 4th and 1 and 4th and 2 and continue on the drives. Let's run the goddamn football. Let's do whatever we need to do as a team to win football game. Play sound, consistent, reliable football.
Don't get so violent. Holy mackerel, Evan.
Ooh, what did I say? What did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say a bad word? I don't care. I don't care. This is a bandwagon. We're positive here, guys. Whether
Fins up, everybody, for tuning in.
We want Tua to focus on his health that we talked about last night.
Evan's going off right now.
Let me ask you, I'm not asking the keys to the game. Do you believe this team, without Tua, and what you've seen the last 4 games, because no one believes it can happen, has what it needs with Teddy Bridgewater, with the talent on the field, and what you've seen to do a switch and walk there on Sunday and win that football game?
Do I need to do what? Do
you believe the team has what it takes? The way you've seen them apply the lot. Why do you believe over the last 4 weeks, microcosm, not the previous, the last 4 weeks?
Let me tell you why. It goes all the way back to 1972.
Oh God!
When our quarterback got his leg broken, right, and somebody had to come in. His name was Earl Morrall, and you know what? Everybody knew he was a good quarterback. He was a little aged. But everybody knew he was a good quarterback. Everybody knows Teddy Bridgewater's a good quarterback, okay? People still aren't sure about Tua yet, whether he's good, bad, decent. They can't make up their mind because he's all over the place.
No, he's not.
And he gets hurt a lot. That comes into a lot of people's questions in their mind when you're going to pay somebody hundreds of millions of dollars, okay? And to be honest with you, I think Teddy Bridgewater will do just fine He's more mobile than Tua, which you might need a little more mobility, as you've seen. Tua goes to run, and it's like he's laboring. Teddy Bridgewater won't labor like that. Teddy Bridgewater will take off and get in those holes. Teddy Bridgewater is a completely different player. I'm not a big Teddy Bridgewater fan, but you know what? I'm going to be a big Teddy Bridgewater fan the whole rest of the year if he's starting. I mean, whoever's starting quarterback, that's who I root for. And if it's Teddy Bridgewater, then that's who I'll be rooting for. And I do believe he's got skills. He's got skills. He could throw the ball down the field too, which, you know, I don't know what the weather's supposed to be, but if they're going to use these great wide receivers we have, he could throw the ball.
You're right. Yeah, he's a rhythm quarterback, but run the ball. If you're getting yards and you're getting first downs and you're killing the clock, that continues the rhythm. The missed throws and the drop balls is what kills the rhythm. So I don't know if you saw the title of my show. All this leading into this week and the game plan for this week. Is this the 4 losses and now Tua? Is this the wake-up call Mike McDaniel needs to get out of his own way? Yes or no? And why?
Is this a wake-up call Mike McDaniel needs to get out of his own way? Mike McDaniel needs to call a better game, period. He needs to pay more attention to what's going on around him, because sometimes it's like he's not kind of there. And I think that's just being a new coach. Just my opinion. You know, he gets caught up in things a little too much where he should be paying attention to what's coming up next. He takes risks. He's a risk taker, folks. That's his style. That's what he does. He goes for it on 4th down. He tries to get the points rather than just the field goal. He pushes the edge. I mean, come on. Look how many times he's gone for it on our side of the field on 4th down. He's done it quite a few times. It makes your heart beat, man. Let me tell you. It makes your heart beat. So, you know.
I want to answer Cap's question. Cap has a question. I'll read it to you.
All right.
If the Dolphins are quick to give up on this guy and he's indeed confirmed as being out for the season, why would you hand him the starting position? Very simply put, he's the cheapest option.
Yeah, he's the cheapest
you know what
option.
You have with, because you've had moments of glory, you've had moments of greatness with him this season, and if he's healthy, who are you going to go get that's better than him?
They might even, depending on what Bridgewater does, they might start Bridgewater. Oh, see, you never know. Could go any direction.
They'd have to re-sign Bridgewater. They'd have to re-sign Bridgewater.
That wouldn't be a big deal.
I know. But for me, this team, although the definition of insanity is listening to people flip-flop about your team. We're all on the same bandwagon. We all want the same thing. We want a healthy
They're going to win.
Of course. We want a healthy team. We want a winning team. We want a consistent team. Hey, Bobby wanted consistency. What have they been consistent at? Being inconsistent. He never said what he wanted us to be consistent about. The Miami Dolphins are the Miami Dolphins. They are this team. Tell me why, because you've been around, you've known this team forever. What's different about this team than 1993? When they were 9-2, Marino was out. Remember this? This is people don't remember this. Marino was out. Scott Mitchell. They didn't believe in Scott Mitchell, and they went to get Steve. What was the guy's name? I can't even remember the guy's name. Thirsty, help me out. Who was the guy they went to get? Steve DeBerg. I think it was Steve DeBerg. And they said even with Steve DeBerg, they were 9-2, and they lost 5 in a row. Collapse of all collapses. Why is this team different than that team?
Well, this team has been missing its quarterback for quite a few games. So
was he? Marino was out from 9-2.
I understand. Marino they knew he was going to be out for the season anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, and it was DeBerg. Yeah. And DeBerg didn't play too bad.
What a collapse that was.
Somebody didn't play real good toward the end, though. How's this team different? This team has more talent on it than that team had by far. Without Marino, it was flat tires. Without Tua, it's not flat tires. That's why. There's somebody else that can step in and take over the team, and that's Teddy Bridgewater. That's who they have. That's the veteran spot we got. And that's where the need is.
Let me ask you a funny question.
Teddy Bridgewater can't do any worse than Tua did last game.
Let me ask you, with what you've seen this season from the New England Patriots, okay?
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity for one game, you arrive at Foxborough to switch quarterbacks and have Mac Jones play for us and Bridgewater play for them, are you more confident with Mac Jones or are you more confident with Teddy Bridgewater?
If Bridgewater was on their team?
No. Would you be more comfortable with Mac Jones as your quarterback on Sunday? Or would you be more confident with Teddy Bridgewater as your quarterback on Sunday?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Exactly. Have you seen what Mac Jones has done the last 2 weeks? He clipped a guy he couldn't tackle the defensive guy. He fell down, and he tried to clip another guy in the last game against the Bengals. That guy's a dirty, dirty quarterback. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was a dirty play. I didn't like that.
Guys, we're 40 minutes into the show. We're going to talk about the predictions in a few minutes. Thank you for joining the show. We really appreciate it. Kenna, Thirsty, everyone, John, the producer, that bum.
Fins up, everybody.
Steve, 2 cents. 2 cents, you're welcome. If you want to come on the bandwagon, I really appreciate you. We're 3 subscribers away. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. We really want to get to 500 subscribers, guys. Before the end of the week, we want to get there. Yeah. So is Lamar Jackson. You guys, in the end, it's about this season. Let's not project. Let's talk about what's in the now. Right now, this team has an opportunity to right wrongs. Let's learn from our mistakes and let's go into Foxborough, do what we did in Buffalo. Because I don't think we need more than 17 to 20 points, Hank, and tell me if you disagree, to beat the New England Patriots. They have no offense.
No, I don't.
They only have a running game that we know how to stop.
I think if Miami's somewhere in the high 20s, they'll win the game.
2 cents, you're welcome on the bandwagon next week. Just DM me your information and we'll get you on the bandwagon next week. Because we're only a few minutes away from ending the show, but just DM me, Fins Pause, or Hank, or Bobby Fins Talk. Send us your information. We'll get you on the bandwagon next week. So what are your thoughts?
56 in New England. That'll be just as nice as it was in Miami. Then.
Yeah, it'll be perfect. Oh, yeah. How cold was it, by the way? How cold was it? How cold was it?
That's perfect football weather right there.
How was it? How was the weather?
It was a bit chilly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 50 degrees or so in the stands.
Yeah. It was it must have been much nicer than 90 degrees on that side, eh? But you're used to cold weather. You're from Oregon. You're used to cold weather.
No, there's no such thing. I'd much rather it be warm. That's why I moved here.
Bill smells blood. Bill smells blood. We better correct. They are so lost, the Patriots. As long as Matt Patricia's calling the plays, I'm not worried about the Patriots. I really am not. I'm not.
My question is, do you folks think that Miami's going to beat New England or not with Teddy Bridgewater? What do you folks think?
Everyone except Steve Malloy and Bobby Melendez thinks they're going to win.
Jinxing. Stop jinxing, Evan. Don't jinx it.
No, guys, you have to understand.
100, yes.
No, guys, you have to understand. The Patriots are the favorites right now, and everyone's going to be picking the Patriots.
No comment.
Everyone's going to be picking the Patriots in the talking heads, and that's perfect for us.
You got it, Steve, John, 10 miles an hour.
Steve, you're the man, Steve. Steve, you have to remember, go back to the times how I wanted you on this network so badly. Do you remember that? You're the man, Steve.
Got a lot of yeses there. I'll tell you what. I think, and Dolphins fans are pretty smart too, because I put out these things on Twitter, and usually they're right. They're right about the outcome. I tell you, 99% of the time they're right about the outcome. Because I'll go back and look at my thing, and it'll be like, you know what? Also, they had it right there too.
Do you see this as a motivating game for this team to play up for Tua? Do you feel like
this team
they're going to be doing that? But do you think they're in their minds are trying to win this for Tua at all?
I don't think it will have anything to do with Tua. I think that they've been embarrassed for 4 games, and they need to find whatever their crick is and get it out and get it massaged out and get it massaged out quick, because they got an important game coming up.
Yeah. Okay. For me, This defines their season. Like I said earlier, this defines their season. This is they have no more chances. This is the end of the road. They have to show their moxie because
they have to win.
They have to win because
it's that simple.
Yeah, they do not. Think about what's happened. This team going into the last game of the year, whether it was Buffalo, whether it was Tennessee, in key games that they've choked or they have they crapped the bed. It doesn't on the second to last game it's never good for them. Put your foot on the metal and let's show what kind of a football team is. You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and you know who's finally going to show up? You know who's finally going to show up in this type of game? Because Teddy is Mike Gesicki. This is Mike Gesicki's game. This for him. No, he has to show up this game. They have to use him. They have to use him in a different way. Quick, they do because they're going to dink and dunk. They have to dink and dunk. They have to pound the rock. They have to get 150 to 200 yards rushing. Let Teddy Bridgewater get 2 to 250, 2 touchdowns. Let the other team let Mostert and Wilson get a touchdown or 2. Let's put up 24 to 28
Let's get
points.
Some turnovers.
Yeah. Maybe Xavier Howard can actually catch a football. Maybe he can actually catch the goddamn ball. He has dropped more interceptions than he's caught this year. Okay.
Hold on, there's a question for me. Yeah. Do I think Tua is holding Mike back?
No.
I think it's a combination of them holding each other back. I believe that Mike McDaniel is not he's not calling an offense like he needs to. It's too plain, too vanilla, too readable. And as far as him being held back, I don't think that Tua's a great help for him either on the other side because he's not available. And when you're not available, you're not any good in the NFL. I don't care what you're throwing. I don't care what you're doing. You have to be available. And Tua so far has shown in 3 years he can't be available. That's a concern. It's a huge concern that they have to consider at the end of this year. Obviously, his pay will be chicken feed, so in comparison to hiring somebody else. But I think it's a combination of the two, to be honest with you.
I don't want to, for Lance, appreciate it. I want to remind everybody, you know who's leading the league? A quick question for you, Hank. Who's leading the league in average yards per reception? Do you know who it is?
Tua.
No. Which receiver?
It's Hill.
No, it's Waddle. Waddle's averaging 18 yards a catch. 18 yards. Last year was 9.
Yeah, he's killing
Tyreek Hill's having the best year of his career. People are saying he's holding receivers back. Who's leading the league in deep ball throws with success? Tua. Tua is a capable quarterback. The problem we're having right now is he has become ingrained in a system that defenses are now able to read, and he's still too young in the tooth with McDaniel's offense, and McDaniel's still young in the tooth to get away from what they think has worked for the first 11 games and they have not changed their feathers. Come on. You have to change something up and give the defense and keep them honest. That's what they need to do. In the end, if they do something different on Sunday, they can win this football game. Let Tyreek run from the backfield. Try slants. Try anything. Try quick dink and dunks over wherever you need to. Try something. Try a flea flicker for all I care. Try something. Try the annexation of Puerto Rico just for El Jefe. I love the greatest football play ever. The annexation of Puerto Rico. To your question of the title of the show, so the first 3 losses were enough for a wake-up call for McDaniel?
Playbook is shot. No, yeah, Mike's playbook is shot so far. Yeah. He better get his head out of his butt.
Miss Fins, what's up? Something. I want to read Miss Fins' question. They weren't a wake-up call to him because he was getting Tua back. Now he knows very likely he ain't getting Tua back till he makes the playoffs. So he better come up with a different play call and a different scheme. Because
I bet they put
it was too early in the year for it to be a wake-up call. It was too early in the wake-up call. He knew he was getting Tua back. Here,
watch.
What?
Bridgewater's going to get in there and blow it up.
Oh, he's going to be phenomenal.
Prediction now. It's going to happen.
Guys, the reason why Teddy Bridgewater is going to succeed on Sunday is because the founder of this network wanted Teddy Bridgewater to be the backup of this team before anyone wanted him to be the backup of this team. So in honor of our founder, El Jefe Bobby Melendez, Teddy Bridgewater, TB, is going to ball out on Sunday. And I'm going to make my prediction now. The final score will be 24-10 Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to the playoffs. I'm telling you. You want to know what? And you know what's also good for this team? I'm happy they weren't flexed. If they have not done well in flex games, they have not done well when the shining light. Let them play at 1 o'clock when everyone else is playing. Let everyone else be distracted. Not all eyes will be on the Miami Dolphins game, and they're going to ball out. Okay, guys. Anyone have any final questions? For me, it's a 50 minutes into the show.
Kenna has a question for you.
What's Kenna? Do you think the playbook is too short? 100% too short, because it doesn't involve runs. It doesn't involve runs, but it doesn't involve Gesicki in a proper way. He's using Braylon Sanders and Trent Sherfield up the middle instead of Mike Gesicki. The throw that Tua threw to Tyreek Hill, the only person that was catching that football was Mike Gesicki. But Fins, pause. Aren't flex games not important games? I don't understand that. Aren't flex games not? Of course they're important games. They were flexed. The Ravens, why? Every time the Miami Dolphins play, how many times did they get flexed this year? Aren't we considered an important team? What did I miss? What did I miss? Am I drunk? I'm confused. I'm so confused. I'm trolling her tomorrow. 8 o'clock,
right.
guys. Don't forget to check out Miss Fins, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then you can follow up with Dolphins Thirsty. Guys, there's wonderful Dolphins content all throughout the internet. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We love the Fins talk. We love the Dolphins. We're never getting off this bandwagon. Miss Fins, because of playoffs,
I'm on it. We're going to win.
What does that mean if we make it to the playoffs? We'll be able to compete or lose?
Teddy is going to be...
I think we need a break. I think we need to sneak it in.
Our bridge gap that we need. Yeah. He is going to be Tua's time off that is needed, and Bridgewater is going to come in and knock it out the park.
Nah. For me,
I think really
we need a break
believe
from...
that.
I think we need a break.
He's been around this team long enough now. He knows exactly what's going on. He's working on a game plan already with the coach. I just see them coming in and getting hungry. They got to be hungry at this point in time. They've been embarrassed for 4 weeks straight. Embarrassed.
McDaniel was joking around all on the sideline during the Green Bay game, and at the end of in his press conference, he said, like, he looked disheveled. He looked lost. He looked so upset. He is looking himself deep in the mirror, and he's saying he went to bed on Christmas Day saying, "What the heck did I just do? I am screwing up this season for all of the Miami Dolphin fans and for my career. This is a very important game for him. This is a make a statement game. Does Tua play another game in Miami as QB? Yes, he does, because he's going to be the quarterback in the playoffs for the Miami Dolphins. Remind me of that.
Yeah, but if Miami Dolphins make the playoffs, they're not going to play at home this year.
Doesn't matter. Tua will be fine. Who cares?
So he'll still be on the team next year.
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
And if like I said, because I believe they're going to win, but if they somehow don't win and they disappoint us on Sunday, Stephen Ross, my tribesman, my friend, Stucca, I believe in you. Blow it up in Miami. I'll be there to help move out the furniture. I will be there to help.
If they don't win, it's because you jinxed us.
I did not. I did not jinx this team. What jinxed this team, and everyone will agree, are the talking heads who keep on picking the Miami Dolphins to win. Adversity is the key to success.
I.e. you.
How about this?
New York Jets have no chance. The Jets have no chance against Seattle. The Dolphins are going to beat the Patriots.
Who's moving the goalpost now? Guys, I have someone in my ear. Guys, I can't get the play call in. Guys, I have to call a timeout. I have this annoying voice. Mike McDaniel's in my ear. He won't let me make the call. I'm doing the pre-snap reads. What do I do?
Fins up, everybody.
Guys, fins up. Any final thoughts, Hank?
Yeah, they're right out there. The defense needs to step it up. They haven't really taken any balls away and done any great spectacular things recently. So got to crush macaroni and cheese. Get a little play on that guy. Get a beat on him and knock him around a little bit. He'll falter. He'll falter quick.
You know, this should have been the Fins sad wagon or the Fins negative wagon.
Thank you for coming out.
I've been told that I am Mr. Jinx. What am I supposed to do? Say the Dolphins stink and they're going to lose? What is this?
You know what? They probably are going to win. So,
guys, I am inviting anyone who's in the comments to DM Fish Tank Hank at Fins to Win or Fins Pause on Twitter. Come celebrate a playoff destined football team next Tuesday on the Fins Bandwagon. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Come on, guys. We're 3 subscribers away. If we don't get to 500 subscribers by Friday, I'm finding all of you on Twitter, and I'm going to be DMing you like crazy, and you're going to have to block me. So do me a favor, 3 more subscribers. Trust me, Bobby and Hank know what it is for me to be a pain in the ass. Do it for us.
Get to 500. Come be a pain in the butt. I don't mind.
Guys, it's going to be a party. Let's give away that jersey next Tuesday on the bandwagon. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to always fins up. Prayers for Tua. Prayers for everyone. Don't forget to say your prayers and eat your vitamins. Fins up, all.
Fins up.